Welcome back, Ink Chasers, to another My Collections video, and what better way to celebrate opening day than my collection of Keebler cookie cards. Alright, before I jump right in and start showing you cards, I want to tell you a little bit about them. These cards were released in 1993 at the old Arlington Stadium. It was the last year that they were going to be there before they went to the new ballpark in Arlington, which is now gone. Well, it's there, but they're not using it. So there were an 8-part series that they released throughout the season. As you see here, April 9th, June 6th, June 13th, June 27th, July 18th, July 25th, August 8th, and September 30th. So if you went to one of those games, you get a packet of, I believe it was 8 pages, 9 cards per page, and you go to all the games, you get all the cards. I did not go to all the games. I went to 3 or 4 of them I know of, and then more recently I purchased the rest of them. So there's a total of 446 cards on the checklist, plus 22 SP cards, which are like photos, there's logos, there's stats, things like that. What I keep my cards in, I've got a trusty little Texas Rangers notebook that, well, it's taking some abuse. I got it all taped up. I need to find me a new notebook, but it's a little 1-inch binder. Got them all in here. And if you've ever tried to shoot a binder video, it's not easy. So what I did was I scanned each page in, and we'll show them off that way. Alright, it starts off with the 1972 Rangers, which is the first year of the Rangers. So on this page I have Larry Bittner, Rich Billings, Dick Bosman, Pete Broberg, Jeff Burrows, Casey Cox, Jim Driscoll, Bill Fahey, Ted Ford, Bill Gogolowski, Tom Grieve, Toby Harrah, Vic Harris, Rich Hinton, and Frank Howard. Jerry Jensky, Dalton Jones, Ted Kubiak, Paul Lindbald, Elliot Maddox. Jim Mason, Jim Panther, Mike Paul, Horatio Pena, Tom Ragland. Jim Schellenbach, Don Stanhouse, Ken Suarez, Joe Camacho. So after the first players and, as you see at the end, the coaches, it started going alphabetical order. And it's all the players from 1972 all the way up through 1993. Now, I know there's some players that came towards the end of 93 who are not in here, so I'm assuming it ends with the opening day roster. But from this point on, it's alphabetical order until we get to that 93 roster. So the ones I have are Gerald Alexander, Brian Allard, Lloyd Allen, Sandy Alomar, Wilson Alvarez, Scott Anderson, Brad Arnsberg, Tucker Ashford, Harold Baines, Alan Bannister, Floyd Bannister, Lynn Barker, Buddy Bell, Juan Beniquez, Kurt Bakovac, Bert Blyleven, Thad Bosley, Dennis Boyd, Bob Brower, Jackie Brown, Jerry Brown, Glenn Brummer, Bert Campaneris, Don Carmen, Jose Cecina, Ken Clay, Reggie Cleveland, Gene Clines, David Clyde, Steve Comer, Glenn Cook, Edwin Correa, Mike Kubich, Danny Darwin, Jack Daughtry, Doug Davis, Adrian Devine, Dick Egan, Doc Ellis, Chuck Estrada, Glenn Ezell, Ed Figueroa, Steve Firovid, Scott Fletcher, Doug Flynn, Marv Foley, Steve Foucault, Jim Fregosi, Dick Gernhardt, Jim Gideon, Jerry Don Gleaton, Goose Gossage, Gary Gray, John Grubb, Cecilio Guante, Bill Hands, Mike Hargrove. Toby Harrah, here as a coach, Bud Harrelson, Donald Harris, Greg Harris, Bill Hasselman, Tommy Helms, Ken Henderson, Dwayne Henry, Jose Hernandez, Whitey Herzog, Guy Hoffman, Rich Honeycutt. Now you'll see here's a space. That's where I have it out, hopefully getting signed, and we'll be back soon. So you'll see a few of those throughout. Alright, next up we have Willie Horton, Dave Hostetler, Charlie Huff, Tom House, Art Howe, Fergie Jenkins, Alex Johnson, Cliff Johnson, Lamar Johnson, Bobby Jones, Steve Kemp, Jim Kern, Daryl Knowles, Jeff Kunkel, Bob Lacey, Davey Lopes, Mike Lloyd, Sparky Lyle, Bill Madlock, Roman Mannon, Fred Manrique, Mike Mason, John Matlack, Otto V. McDowell, Russ McGinnis, Craig McMurtry, George Doc Medich, Orlando Mercado, Jim Merritt, Gary Melke, Eddie Miller, Paul Mirabella, Dave Moltz, Roger Moret, Dickie Knowles, Nelson Norman, Jim Norris, Pete O'Brien, Tom O'Malley, Tom Petrock, Ken Pape, Mark Parent, Larry Parrish, Gaylord Perry, Jim Poole, Tom Poquette, Pat Putman, Doug Rader, Dave Rajesh, Merv Rittman, Mike Richart, Mickey Rivers, Leon Roberts, Wayne Rosenthal, Jeff Russell, Billy Sample, Jim Schaefer, Dave Schmidt, Tony Scruggs, Sonny Siebert, Ruben Sierra, Craig Scott, Roy Smalley, Keith Smith, Mike Smithson, Eric Schotterholm, Dick Such, Mike Stanley, Dave Stewart, Jeff Stone, Jim Sundberg, Greg Tabor, Frank Tanana, Jeff Turco, Stan Thomas, Dickie Thon, Dave Toback, Jim Umberger, Bobby Valentine, Ellis Valentine, Mark Wagner, Mike Wallace, Chris Welch, Don Warner, Mitch Williams, Bump Wills, Paul Wilmot, Steve Wilson, Bobby Witt. George Wright, Ned Yost, and here at the bottom here you got Steve Alboni, but this is where it starts with the 1993 roster with Kevin Kennedy as the manager. Jose Canseco, Chris Carpenter, Doug DeCenzo, Butch Davis, Steve Dreyer, Julio Franco, Jeff Fry, Juan Gonzalez, Tom Hinkie, David Hulse, Jeff Houston, Charlie Liebrandt, Gene Nelson, Darren Oliver, Rafael Palmeiro, Bob Patterson, and Dale Peltier, Gary Redis, John Russell, Matt Whiteside, Perry Hill, Jackie Moore, Dave Oliver, Clyde Osteen, Willie Upshaw. And here's where you start to see, here's the checklist, and then the SP cards. The center here I've got, it's a picture of the old Arlington Stadium. It's signed by Chuck Morgan, who's the on-field announcer, with his special inscription, "It's baseball time in Texas." Then we have the 1972 team photo, and then down here at the bottom we have a 72 to 80 Rangers logo signed by Eddie Robinson, who was in the front office. And then we have the 81 to 83 signed by Eric Nadel, who is a radio announcer and has been with him, well, since forever. And then this one we have the 93 logo, and then we have just some stats throughout the Rangers' career or as a team. More stats. And then just to finish it off here, I had started doing custom Keebler cookie cards for anybody who came into the Rangers after 1993 or that weren't on a card. So I'll run through these right quick. Xavier Hernandez, Larry Hardy, Mark Lowe, Jay Howe, Dennis Cook, Scott Bales, Ryan Glenn, Rudy Homero, Tim Crabtree, Mike Munoz, Eric Gunderson, Eric Moody, Mark Clark, Kevin Minch, Frank Catalanato, Eric Fox, Buck Showalter, Chris Tremay, Mike Morgan, Kirk Stillwell, Luis Alcea, Chad Curtis, Bob Tewksbury. Obviously, there's a lot more. I just haven't made the cards or got them sent off for TTM or saw in person or anything like that. You will see more to come. This is currently sitting at 217 signed cards, and I'm about maybe halfway. I mean, I know I said there's 446, but take away the checklist, and yeah, I'm about halfway. Now I know there's some I won't be able to get because they had passed away before the cards were even made. But hey, I'll do what I can. Alright, until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and happy opening day.